Hello, this is Micah Julia Nelson with WUFO, and we are going to be interviewing the cast and crew of Eyes of Ghana.
You are going to be moved by how Chris so beautifully chronicles how he experienced the life and leadership of Kwame Nkrumah, offering us a unique and powerful window into Ghana's fight for independence. It's a story of vision, valor, and the steady march of progress.
We started Higher Ground to tell stories like this, stories that change the way we see the world and each other.
We hope you leave here with a greater appreciation for the soul of Ghana, the spirit of Africa, and the extraordinary power of filmmaking to open our eyes.
So, enjoy the film, and congratulations again to Ben, Nana, Anita, Moses, Brandon, and the entire team for telling this story in such a thoughtful way. And to all the filmmakers and aspiring filmmakers watching. As Chris Hesse would say, keep on filming.
Have a wonderful evening, everyone.
Hi, sorry.
You want to go first?
Sure, I'll go first then.
Yeah, go first. Sure.
Hi, my name is Micah with Balance First Workshops. You look stunning.
Thank you so much.
Can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Nana Joafrimpong, and I'm a producer on The Eyes of Ghana.
Amazing. And my question to you is going to be short and sweet.
Okay.
What do you do to stay healthy and radiantly beautiful?
Oh, wow.
Because you're gorgeous.
Ooh, that's such
Healthy
a
and
great
balanced.
question.
What do you do to take care of yourself, my dear?
I take a walk. I take walks often. Before I send a text, before I start saying things, I just take a walk. That's usually my go-to. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. I love that
Gorgeous.
question. Thank you so much.
And congratulations
Thank you so
on
much.
this project. This is
Thank
amazing.
you. I'm gonna cry.
Much love, thank you.
How are you?
Congratulations. Can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Ben Proudfoot, and I'm the director and one of the producers of The Eyes of Ghana.
And my question to you is, how do you stay balanced and healthy?
How do I try?
How do you
I'm not
try?
sure if I would claim to be balanced yet. How do I stay balanced and healthy?
Yes.
I try to get enough sleep. 7-8 hours of sleep. I try to only have one Diet Coke every once in a while and order water instead. That's about all I can give you. But I could do. Maybe I should watch this channel, this show,
Yes.
to find out more about that, because I could use a little balance after finishing this film.
Absolutely. I'd be happy to help you. And congratulations for having this backed by the Obamas. How's that for you?
It's amazing. It's an amazing feeling, and we hope we did them proud with this film.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you. In Africa, and that story had been suppressed and erased after the coup in 1966. And Chris, who is his personal cameraman, had saved this trove of films that told the whole story, and asked for my help in helping him tell that story and get the film. And the film was born out of that bond to be digitized. So that's a big part of our campaign with this film, is to figure out a way to get those films digitized and restored and repatriated to Ghana. It's my first feature-length film in about a decade. Yeah, in a long time. It feels good, They're hard. I get why it's so hard to make these feature-length documentaries, but it's a short feature. 89 minutes long. It's a tight feature. Okay, great. It was a big group that I'm very honored to have led.
Yeah, my last question is, how did it feel being backed by the Obamas?
It felt great, and there was an extraordinary trust that they lent us in making the film that we needed to make. And this is the first independent film from Higher Ground, so that was a huge leap of faith for them, and we feel very grateful to them. And it's just honestly just really cool. I can't believe it. It's really amazing.
That's amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Brandon, and we passed by this unusual building, and I asked, "What is that building?" And Justice said, "Oh, that's the mausoleum for Kwame Nkrumah." And I said, in a question that would change the course of bring me here today, who is Kwame Nkrumah? And every Ghanaian in the van turned around and looked at me. The van swerved off, And I said, I'm sorry, And they told me the story, which you just saw. And I said, is there anyone still alive who knew Kwame Nkrumah, who might have known him? They said, Justice said, actually, he loved movies. And he built a whole film industry, and he made thousands of films, and he had a personal cinematographer, Chris Hesse. He's a reverend now. He's 90 years old. He lives down that road there. Wow. I said, let's go down the road. And I met Chris, and you see, he's the most charming, he's just such a natural storyteller. And Brandon and I looked at each other and said, hey, would you mind if we interviewed you? I said, sure, yeah, no problem. And that was the beginning. And to be honest, the film has taken a life of its own. The spirit of Chris's mission that captured Anita, that captured all of us, that brought us here, that is at the heart of this. So the job of directing was little more than protecting Chris's mission, to have these films digitized and to spread this story. And I have never made a film that has been more collaborative. I mean, there are so many sequences of this movie. I was sitting there watching, the whole thing pass, that, that was the contribution of this person, that was the contribution of that person. And it was a glorious experience making this movie together, and a real coalition between Canadian filmmakers, American filmmakers, Ghanaian filmmakers, and just a beautiful highlight of my life. Yeah.
Say, having some sort of reference in order to inspire you as a filmmaker. And there's also no school of thought surrounding that area. Like when you learn about French cinema, there's the French New Wave, there's, Italian Neorealism. But there was nothing like that for me. So I didn't have any kind of reference. So having the opportunity to get to know Chris Hesse and get to know all of this, it is such an inspiration, but it's still not much for us. And in my country, I wouldn't say we have a viable film industry, but we're trying. The few of us that are trying to make films, that are trying to screen films in some film festivals, and
some of the choices you made. I mean, you really beautifully conduct these interviews, and letting Chris Hesse's face and Anita's face fill the screen. Can you talk more about your approach?
Yeah, I mean, Ben has a particular style of interview that we love shooting. We kind of, there's like interview docs, and then there's kind of a breakwater doc, and we don't think of them as the same because the people's faces tell quite a story as they're telling their story. So, I mean, that this film, it's evident in Chris as he's relaying his life, and we had 2 separate interviews for that. But, there was a lot of shooting and a lot of just like being in the world with Anita and, her being a filmmaker herself. There was so much collaboration there in terms of ideas and, just her being okay with us being around, and we spent a lot of time together, and then for the end of the movie we wanted to do something big, and so we collaborated with IMAX. A few of the people are here.
Canadian company, IMAX. Yeah.
And they graciously lent us a camera to shoot that finale sequence because it's such a beautiful story of film and the power of film, and we thought, what's the best imaging format in the world? And it's IMAX, 65 millimeter, 15 per film. And so we brought some to Ghana, and we got to shoot Chris Hesse on it, and it was a major highlight. And I think just another example of the collaboration. Everybody was banding together to. Chris Hesse put his eye on the eyepiece, and I think 80 cameras went up to take a a BTS photo of this. It was a special moment. So yeah, it was a special project.
Ethan, from your role at Higher
all of you here, and I'm happy. I'm genuinely just happy to be here and to experience this.
Justice, you were the person who introduced Ben to Chris in the first place. Can you tell us a little more about the circumstances of that introduction?
If anybody had said that simple conversation that happened in the trotro in Accra, the small buses we were traveling, was going to end up on one of the biggest film festivals in the world, I would have said it would be a joke. But about 10 years ago, I went to do my master's program in documentary filmmaking, and we had been asked in the class to share a documentary film about an important person from the countries where we're coming from. And when it got to my turn, I didn't know of any film from Ghana. And so when I was speaking with my professor after the class, I told him that if any time in my life I was ever able to be involved in a film about someone like Kwame Nkrumah, it would be one of the biggest achievements in my career and in my life. I think today is that day, and I feel very emotional about it. And I want to say from the deepest part of my heart, my gratitude to Ben for making this possible, and for everybody at Breakwater and all of you for coming and sharing in the story of Reverend Hesse and Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Thank you very much.